everybody. It's Annie and Jamie, and we're together again.
Right?
Yay! Jamie's here. Jamie's in the house. We're going to continue with our America 50 celebration podcast of Historified. This is a continuation of the last one. Today, we are going to connect another McKinney / Chestnut Square family. We're going to connect Nancy Ferguson Wilmot to the Revolutionary War. So last time we talked about, who did we talk about last time?
We talked Robert Field,
Okay, and he is
Lucy Ann Field Delaney's great-grandfather.
And-
Went from her to her Bessie to her grandfather John to Robert.
okay.
So
yeah.
great-grandfather.
All right.
Don't you see how that works?
Yeah.
See how our brains work
Together.
and how we connect dots?
She's part of the Daughters of the American Revolution. And so today we have another daughter of the American Revolution. I don't know if Nancy has a DAR number. I didn't look that up or not. But the person I'm going to talk about today would not have been the reason that she is a daughter of the American Revolution. The main person I'm going to talk about is her grandfather. Now, her father fight in the American Revolution, but there's a twist.
Ooh,
yes. So we have Patrick Ferguson, who was Nancy's grandfather, like I said, and he was actually a British officer. So he fought for the British. Now, the interesting thing about the American Revolution, much like this war, is that you have brother versus brother. In the American Revolution, you had brother versus brother, father versus son, because at this time, America was considered British. So you didn't say, I'm American right now. You were considered British. You had the people very, very loyal to Britain who didn't want to break away from Britain. And Patrick Ferguson, being a British officer, obviously he was going to fight for the British Army.
He obviously was a part of the British Army for a while. He's
Right.
got a career. He's got
Right.
a
This
reputation.
is his career. I'm going to take you back. Imagine. Just close your eyes and imagine.
Okay.
We're going back to September 11th, 1777. So we're going back to that 1777 that we talked about last time. But first, I just want a side note, because, that's how we work.
It's those rabbit holes.
Exactly.
Those little side tunnels that we.
So we're talking about Nancy Ferguson Wilmot, right? Her husband, J.B. Wilmot, was born on September 11th.
Okay.
In the 1780s. So we're going to September 11th, 1777, but that's her, eventually it'll be J.B. Wilmot's birthday. It's weird how history works. I mean, I know we only have
Just
365 days,
just those
but
small little ties.
Yeah, it's
it
a tie.
Seem insignificant. It's just that little wow.
Right.
It's those coincidences.
That's how my brain works.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, cool.
Yes, I'm all for coincidences.
Okay, sorry.
That's
I got
a good
us
one.
off our mojo.
I thought that was a good one.
All right. September 11th, 1777. Brandyford, Pennsylvania. Okay. Captain Patrick Ferguson, a 33 Scotsman who had the reputation of being the finest shot in the whole British Army. There's lots of people in the British Army, but this guy was the finest shot. He commanded British marksmen who were equipped with a fast-firing breech-loading rifle of Ferguson's own design. So
Okay.
he designed his own rifle, and the British Army used it. Explain kind of what the breech-loading rifle is later, but just keep that in mind. So That's how good this guy is. So they were ordered to pick off unsuspecting American officers. The officers would go and kind of inspect the area before they started the battle. That's just what they would do. They saw an officer inspecting, and they were going to pick him off because he didn't know that they were there. They were getting in place, and Patrick kind of thought, I'm not going to do that. That is just not cool to shoot someone in the back.
Yeah.
That's just not.
You do. I mean, we even know that now.
Yeah, you don't do that. So before the American Revolution, there were rules in war.
Right.
Right.
Yes. It was very civil.
Very civil,
snooty.
it's very civil. So
As civil as war can be. We're still
Yeah.
gonna shoot it.
in the back when you don't know that we're
And
there.
Annie, you shoot first. Your men have fired. I will return your fire.
Right.
And
And-
then I expect you to return your fire
Right.
to me.
Yes. Lined up. And if you've seen
The
The Patriot, you know that there are rules to war, and officers in the British Army back then were gentlemen. And so it was kind of a gentlemanly thing.
Yeah.
It was very like you said, it was civilized.
I
mean, war's not actually, you're still them, but there were rules. And so Ferguson was a gentleman, being a gentleman, kind of that he wasn't on his horse, who knows, going to walk, who knows. Patriot officer was on his own, just kind of going, scouting stuff out. I think there was another gentleman with him, but they didn't know that Ferguson was there. So Ferguson told his guys not to shoot him because he was going away from them. Now, he did call and say, hey, and the officer kind of turned and looked at his shoulder, but he didn't turn all the way around. I think if he would have turned all the way around and realized that they were there, then Ferguson would have shot him.
Okay.
So wouldn't have been shooting him in the back because the guy would have been facing him. But this officer just kept going. Ferguson called him again, and I guess he really didn't hear him because he kind of just was like looking over his shoulder, and he just kept going. So Ferguson let him kind of slowly canter away. A day later, after being injured, Ferguson got injured in this battle. He learned that the American officer that he almost shot was George Washington.
Where's my right? Mind blown?
It's
more like
mind blown.
It's more like a mind blown than a mic drop.
Yes. I mean, that one decision by this man could have changed the whole outlook of America.
I just want to say, you know what would have been if she was like, I'm not going to turn around because then they'll shoot me.
Yeah, if you
then
knew.
I'll acknowledge that they're there.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep going because the rules of war, they were not going to shoot me. So just be like, I didn't hear anything. I'm just going to keep going.
That trusting
that
man.
would be a
Yes,
mic
that would
drop.
be a mic drop.
This was a mind blown.
Now, historians have said, well, that wouldn't have been George Washington. You'd have been surrounded by other people. But they found a letter written by one of Washington's other officers under him that he would go off. And on this day, he went off on his own. So sometimes George Washington would go off to collect his thoughts and to pray before a battle, or to just kind of just go off on his own. Because of those letters, they think that this is true.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. That could have changed everything.
It could have. Here's a quote from Captain Ferguson. He said, I could have lodged half a dozen balls in or about him before he was out of my reach. Ferguson recalled, it was not pleasant to fire at the back of an unoffending individual who was acquitting himself very coolly of his duty, so I let him alone. Someone called that honor before glory. And that is true. He was an honorable man. So he wasn't going to shoot somebody in the back. But that ties Chestnut Square to George Washington. It's amazing.
George Washington surviving.
Yes.
I'm glad that he had pleasantries about him.
Exactly. He
Not
had honor.
shoot our first president.
Exactly.
Good Lord.
So Ferguson was considered a brave but unconventional professional soldier, eager for battle since adolescence until the day that he died. He was a career guy. He was born in 1744 to a judge near Aberdeen in Scotland, and his commission was bought for him on his 15th birthday as a cornet or junior officer. Still find it very interesting that you could buy your commission.
They were just because the Brits were all about money.
I guess.
Why do you think we spilled the tea?
But that's weird to me that all right, you want to be in the Army? Let me buy you. You're now a junior officer.
here you
You're
go.
not just a private.
Hey, yes, you can join us, and if you want to
Give us some
be
money.
an officer, you got to pay for it.
Yeah, that's
Thank you.
That's interesting to me.
That is actually really, really interesting. Wow.
We were talking about Ferguson and this rifle. Ferguson's rifle did away with the ramrod. So if you've seen old movies and they're putting they take the gun or the rifle and then they put in the powder and then they put in a little piece of material and then they take the ramrod out and ram that down and drop in the ball or the bullet and then they shoot. I guess what it did is you rotated the trigger guard to open the breech. So I think it went forward. You lean the muzzle forward, you drop in the ball, then the powder charge, turn the guard to close it, and then you could shoot it. You didn't have to ram it down.
So it was faster to load, but you still had to wait till the other side shot first.
Perhaps.
Then you have to call out the orders to
yes.
Go down on the knee.
Right.
Put the gun down.
Right.
And shoot.
And fire.
And go back up. It's those
yeah.
pleasantries.
Yes. The rules of war. The Ferguson, as it was called, I think it's cool that he has a gun named after him.
That is really neat.
Was accurate and light. So it was 3 pounds lighter than
Brown Bess.
Names from their guns. The Brown Bess weighed 10 and a half pounds.
Wow.
Where the Ferguson rifle weighed only 7.5 pounds.
Okay.
And marching with a rifle, 3 pounds is a lot. Yeah. So that was 1777. Fast forward, October 7th, 1780. All right. This is a decisive victory for the Patriots. It turned the war into the Patriots, into their favor. It lasted for 65 minutes, which doesn't seem like a long time, but I imagine when you're fighting, it is a very long time.
It's a very long time.
But it wasn't days. It was 60. So it's called the Battle of Kings Mountain, and it took place kind of near the North Carolina-South Carolina border.
Okay.
This is from a Revolutionary War journal that I got this information. There were 900 to 1,000 rebel militiamen under the loose command of Colonel William Campbell from the western wilds of Virginia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and over the mountain frontiersmen from present-day Tennessee. And then a company of Georgia refugees. So Georgians came in too.
They're like, okay.
This was before Tennessee was a state or anything, but the frontiersman is very important in this scenario. There were 1,200 loyalists under Major Patrick Ferguson from North Carolina and the South Carolina militia, and then there were 100 American volunteers from New Jersey. Weird that it said American volunteers, but I'm assuming they were the loyalists from New Jersey. There were 100 volunteers. They were not soldiers. There was about 1,300 people versus 1,000 people. The rebel militiamen had long rifles, which were ideal for forest combat. This is where the rules of war changed. And this is where, if you saw The Patriot, this is what Mel Gibson's character did.
Okay.
The loyalist American volunteers had bayonets, which the bayonets were good if you were in an open field and you were running after someone.
Yeah.
These long rifles, though, they could be up in the trees. And they didn't wait for you to fire and then I fire and then they were just firing.
Okay.
So those long rifles, Kings Mountain was very forested. 4 rifles proved supreme. And these frontiersmen who probably could shoot the eye out of a squirrel so that you didn't waste any of the meat, they knew what they were doing. So just
that was
because
a way to put that, by the way.
Thank you. Isn't that a good
that was
good
really
visual?
Good visual.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm just saying that just because these frontiersmen weren't militia, weren't trained, weren't soldiers, that didn't necessarily mean that they didn't
know how to shoot.
Right. They knew how to shoot, and they did shoot. Ferguson of his horse by Robert Young, who said, this just cracked me up. I'll try and see what Sweet Lips can do. So when I read that, I'm like,
What?
is he calling Patrick Ferguson Sweet Lips? But no, that was the name of his gun.
Oh, okay. Did I miss something?
I know. I was like, okay. So
shouldn't be surprised, right?
Right.
Humans we name everything.
We do name everything. So Fergus was hit by 8 or more shots.
Oh my
and at least
gosh.
1 through the head. So he died, obviously. The people under him, his soldier, really honored him. And there's a cairn. That's what the Scottish did, where that you bring rocks.
Okay.
Built to him in Kings Mountain, North
Wow.
Carolina, that you can go see today. There's pictures of it.
Really?
And there's rocks, leave stones for Patrick Ferguson. So
wow.
he was a beloved soldier. It is reported was going to when Patrick Ferguson, he left his wife and in the care of his brother. Patrick's brother was in Virginia and he was a farmer.
Okay.
And James was sent to go work in the fields. And when he turned 16 and they started calling up people to fight in the war, so he just left. He joined up. During the Battle of Kings Mountain, his regiment, thank you, was marched 4 miles away.
So they were heading there?
Yes. He was 4 miles away from fighting against his father.
Oh.
So he didn't actually fight against his father, but his father had passed. This is corroborated in a book that was written by James Ransom Wilmoth, who is JB's 4th son. Put all of this down in his book. This is all passed down. I believe it.
Right.
Because, I mean, that's how you kind of have to go on what you believe.
Do we know did James make it to King's? Did his regiment actually make it there?
I don't think so, because I think it was over.
Yeah,
by
because
the
you said
time
it lasted only like
It lasted 65 minutes. So
Okay.
if they were 4 miles away from it, I don't think they would have
I just
made it.
didn't know if he would have been able to have, his dad had passed too.
Yeah. I don't.
He would even have recognized
Yeah.
them depending on how long on.
Right.
It's very interesting. It
Yeah.
pops up more questions.
It does pop up more questions, but eventually I'm out of the rabbit.
You do. Because you have to make dinner.
Yes.
Everybody's
and
hungry.
I just thought that was really cool that
That's
tied. And that
really
Nancy
interesting.
Wilmoth, her grandfather was, part of that. Now, James Wilmoth actually came down with Nancy and JB from Arkansas. He was actually here in McKinney for a little bit.
That's cool.
So when they came down, he was with them.
Did he stay in Texas?
No,
Do you
he
know?
didn't stay in Texas. He did not die here in McKinney. He went back.
It's kind of neat that he was here, though.
Yeah, yeah.
That's pretty neat.
So then I thought, okay, if Nancy Ferguson Wilmoth, if she's tied to the American Revolution, then let's see about J.B. Wilmoth. And in James Ransom, his book, his 4th child, it's J.B. Wilmoth, his grandfather, came from Ireland or England early enough to participate, but there is no family record that taint of Toryism nor the boast of patriotic service.
Okay.
So I guess they were patriots. The taint of Toryism does not sound, positive.
Okay.
So we don't know if J.B. Wilmoth's grandfather or they were here in time to fight for it, but we don't know if they fought or which side they fought on.
And as we know from the last episode, records could
Yeah,
have been
you
destroyed
don't
or they just
know.
don't exist anymore.
Yeah, and this so close grandfather, and everything was passed down from generation to generation.
Yeah.
Word of mouth, but there were no records of that. So, we don't know, but we do know that Nancy Ferguson Wilmoth could be a daughter of the American Revolution. And again, I haven't looked it up. I didn't go research that
Okay.
part of it. If anybody knows, I know that there are Wilmoths out there. If you know if she's part of the DAR, please just send us a message or um, Facebook message or email at Annie@chestnutsquare.com and let me know.
Do we know how long DAR and SAR have been around?
I do not.
Okay, I'm really curious about that because Lucy, she became a DAR the same year she died, 1941.
Okay.
So, and then it said when I did the paperwork last episode, when I
Mhm.
did the paperwork, it said that there were earlier submissions from hers,
Mhm.
and that's why she was available online, her
Okay.
ancestor, but ones before that may not have been. And so now I'm thinking, like, how far back does
Right. Yeah.
DAR even go?
Yeah. So if
So
anybody knows,
just
we'd
curious
love to
on
know.
that. I do have something to add to yours. Is that if that's
Yes.
okay?
Yes.
Tennessee, Carolina.
Mhm.
Now, the next, I mean, not the next episode, but one of the next episodes in the same little series we're doing of Revolutionary War ties to McKinney at their pioneers. Um, it said on the one that I'm currently
Mhm.
in the rabbit hole with that it was a movement from North Carolina to Tennessee for troops.
Mhm.
I didn't know that. And so you're talking North Carolina to Tennessee, and all of a
Right.
sudden I'm like, I just read that that was a normal, and it was normal troop
Mhm.
migration from the North Carolina to Tennessee. And just again,
Because
something you don't
again,
know.
it started up in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
It started up in the north and it started moving south. And I know that the British were trying to cut the country in half.
Yeah. Okay.
They were trying to cut north from the south during this revolution because they just wanted
No
no
communication,
communication, nothing.
no
Yeah.
militia. They
Right.
can't group together if they can't even
Right.
communicate and get to each other.
But the American patriots did not follow the rules of war.
I don't
So
even know if we knew. I mean, if I can give us a little slap on the hand,
right.
maybe we just didn't know because they're farmers,
Right.
right? They're like, I'm
They're
fighting.
not military men. If I can see you, I'm shooting you.
And at the
So
same time, I'm sorry, you're
yeah.
like, I'm
I
gonna
mean,
win
I'm
this.
very thankful that Patrick was such a gentleman.
Yes. Yes. It's got to be also kind of hard for him. You don't know how he felt. Maybe he even, I mean, that's that record, but we
Mhm.
don't know what was in his head.
Yeah.
And I'm glad he was that way. But also, I wonder if there was just a little twinge that he had like empathy or kind of
Right.
agreed with them.
Mhm.
They already have all his records. They know who he is.
Right. Right.
That would have been like putting your name on your
And yeah,
defense,
signing
just
the
there you
declaration.
go,
Yeah.
writing your name for everybody to see that
Mhm.
you're a traitor.
Right.
He's not
Right.
going to do that.
No, no.
He's got a son and a wife.
Wife and he
He's stuck.
also not to I'm going to spill some tea.
All right.
This is like juicy tea. He had a camp follower that used to follow him, a woman. I can't remember what her name. She had a nickname. I'm sorry. I can't remember.
Patrick.
I know.
Patrick.
I can't remember her name. It was something Kate, I think.
Interesting.
And died near him.
I'm sorry to hear
so
that.
they were buried kind of near each other.
That's interesting.
But I don't know why or how if she just I don't know why she died next to him. I don't think she was part of the battle or anything, but yeah, he had a
I'm going to try not to read too much into that one. My wheels are turning.
but that's just some tea. That's like tea.
I don't know the story.
Right.
Could have been really innocent.
Yeah, they could have just been friends.
Could have been innocent, but if he's gentleman enough, not someone in the back. I don't know. I think he's probably got some good character.
Hopefully, yeah.
So
that was Patrick, but I'm going to share a little bit. So I was trying to be good and have two people. I tried even to see if the Johnsons were connected in some way because Captain Johnson from the Johnson house was in the Civil War. So I thought, okay, well, maybe his family. We don't know. Obviously, someone probably knows, but when you go through Ancestry or even the paperwork that we have for Captain Johnson that we have, it says father unknown.
yeah.
That was a dead end right there, and I just didn't have the
Yeah.
to search. I tried fairs. I got a little bit, but not again known. And I'm
It's the records.
yeah, the
It's
records.
so-
And if people out on ancestry.com, there might be a family tree that's written someplace that someone might know. Hey, yes, there was affairs that fought in the But then we're in the Dixie store. Because it's not a house, I have researched the Anderson family and the Bremer family before, but not for this. So I thought, let me just kind of see. Okay. You are Bremer, who was his father. He is the original owner. It used to be the Bremer store, and then it was the Bremer Anderson store, known as the Dixie store, because Dixie ran it with her husband, but it was known as Dixie store. W.R. Bremer, Dick's father, was born in Tennessee in 1867. He was born in Tennessee. And then his grandfather, Vineyard.
What a name.
Vineyard Roten was born in 1821. And then John P. Bremer was born in 1785. And his father, William Jesse, was born in 1759. This is a long list.
Yeah.
Going way, way back. This is Dick's father. So, William Jesse Bremer served. Records were lost. The reason we know this is because he applied to get a pension from the American Revolution. But he didn't have any written proofs. But he served during the Battle of Kings Mountain under John Sevier against the British. Again, that battle in 1780, he was there.
That's interesting.
And again,
he could have seen Patrick.
Yeah, he could have.
He could have seen him. He could have witnessed it.
He could have shot him. I don't know.
One of the 8.
Yeah, one of the 8. It's just it was interesting that he was there. So when I was doing this, this is like the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon.
It's 7 degrees of Chestnut Square.
It could be, or it could be the 7 degrees of Kings Mountain.
Because Kings Mountain's coming up in my right now.
This is why I love my job. Now, not only did William Jesse Bremer serve, but he had a twin brother who served as well. And the reason that they think they know that he served is he received land grants, and his twin fought in the War of 1812, and he died during his service in 1814.
Wow. So his twin could prove his service, but he couldn't service.
And here's my other notes. See, I just take notes everywhere. That was Private William Bremer, and it says on his find a grave that he was a reverend. There are 2 people in the same family named Vineyard. One is Vineyard Rip Bremer, and the other one was Vineyard something else.
Was
Bremer.
it the same generation or different?
Yeah, so they were brothers.
Oh, jeez.
Please don't do that.
Don't do George 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Vineyard Richard Bremer or something like that, and they called him Rich. But please don't do that.
Don't do that.
It makes research so hard.
Luckily, these days, we are really good at keeping records.
Yes. And naming our children something that...
We're always looking for uniqueness
Exactly.
now. Provided the British don't raid and
burn
down all the paper.
Stuff. So I just thought that was really... When I was doing the ancestry work, and I came across William Bremer, right next to it, in parentheses, in capital, it says twin. And I'm like, I wonder what TWI.
That's so funny. What does that mean for the Revolutionary War? What is a TWIN?
Because it said Private William Bremer, and then next to it said TWIN. And then I went and I clicked, and
you're like
said,
Googling twin revolutionary.
No, I didn't go that far. But then I thought, oh, he had a twin.
And your light bulb.
And again, Jesse had William somewhere in his name. I guess since they were twins.
Wow.
I don't know. But it was just weird.
Really interesting.
So, yeah.
That was some good research,
Isn't that some good research?
That research will get you every time.
I know. Going down rabbit holes.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. So, but we're not finished with this series. So you need to stay tuned, because Jamie got some really good tea.
We're
working on
Yes.
it. Yes, because McKinney, it has been so fun research to tie us to
the start of
the
it
start
all.
of it all 250 years ago. It's been very interesting. So we hope that you have enjoyed this episode and that you join us again for our next episode. Get to subscribe and share. Join us on our Facebook page, our Instagram page.
Yes.
If you want to see what we're doing, most of our stuff is on Facebook and Instagram right now, or go to chestnutsquare.org. You can get tickets. In July, we're starting our Holiday Tour of Homes special.
That's right. It's Christmas in July.
And so the Holiday Tour of Homes is what started Chestnut Square. And we were talking to James West yesterday, and don't worry, we're going to do another episode on James because he's
Yeah.
just awesome. We might even have him in here talking to us. But he said that because the ladies started Chestnut Square, people started renovating and preserving the historic district of McKinney.
Yes.
And it is because the ladies started Chestnut Square, and it's because of the Holiday Tour of Homes.
Yes, they would homes and get inspired and say, I could do this to my historic home. He said before that,
they were just knocking
everything
them
was
down.
just not getting knocked down and new things are being built. But when people saw what could be done here, we
and the
started
historic
to
homes,
preserve McKinney's history and uniqueness.
Because of Chestnut Square and the Holiday Tour of Homes. So this year's our 53rd annual Holiday Tour of Homes. In Christmas in July, you get an awesome special. Ticket are only $25 a piece. This is the best time to get them. I believe they go on sale July 6th, but they're going to go July 6th through July 31st. So be sure to reserve your tickets at chestnutsquare.org through our holiday special. And it is going to be a great holiday tour of homes. We're going to have things planned here at Chestnut Square. It's going to be a very fun.
Hey, and you have a historic home and you're interested on possibly being on one of our
tours,
give us a reach out to us.
Reach out to us, Annie at chestnutsquare.org. All of the families who have done it in the past really enjoy it. That's going on right now. We are in the middle of our patch program. You can come here to Chestnut Square.
Been in my head the whole show. Hi, how are you? Let's just look over this way. Oh, man.
So this is a patch. Once these are gone, they're gone.
And it's nice. This is a nice patch.
What is unique about this program is not only can you get this, you can go to 8 other museums and get patches from them as well. We have our pamphlet. So come to Dick. Or come see me, start your patch program. You can go on a quest to get all of the other patches and or stickers because some places are doing stickers and once places run out of patches, stickers as well. But it's just a way for us to share the knowledge of McKinney, of County, the museums here in the area because we have some great museums in the area.
And it's great for America's 250 to learn the history of our county here in our country.
Yes. And get a patch.
That's
because in another 250 years, that thing is going to be a lot of money.
That's hopefully this podcast you can still go on and go, man, look at how they used to do that.
Oh my gosh.
That's so
But the history, look at that.
That's right.
We just hope that you enjoy our podcast. We thank you for listening. We thank you for sharing. And we hope that you have an awesome celebration of the 4th of July.
That's right.
And we just encourage you to come back because, again, we're going to be sharing all through July different things that bring us back to the American Revolution in McKinney, Texas.
That's right.
So see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God.